In December 1976, 81-year-old World War I veteran George Clarence Seitz left his home in Jamaica, Queens for a haircut, but he never returned. This is the chilling story of a murder hidden for 44 years, until a shocking confession and advances in DNA forensics cracked the case. Welcome to the Fifth File, where we do deep dives into the cold, the missing, and the unexplained. George Clarence Seitz, born December 12, 1894, served in World War I. After returning home, he lived with his wife in a quiet neighborhood in Jamaica, Queens. Despite his age, he maintained daily routines and was respected by neighbors. On December 10th, 1976, George left home just after 10 a.m. for a haircut at a barber shop a few blocks away, but he never made it back. He was reported missing the same day after he failed to return home. Despite a prompt search, no witnesses came forward. No clues were found at the barbershop or along the route he would take, and his body was nowhere to be found. The police investigation quickly went cold, leaving the community puzzled and uneasy. Over time, George's disappearance cast a quiet shadow over the neighborhood, a haunting reminder of the unanswered questions still lingering. Fast forward to March 2019, a woman in her 50s stepped forward with a chilling confession that would reopen this decade-old case. She revealed that as a 10-year-old child, she witnessed her mother's boyfriend, Martin Mota, who was also the barber that George would go to, burying a body in their backyard in Richmond Hill, Queens. The body had been wrapped tightly in plastic and concealed beneath a freshly poured concrete slab. This revelation prompted police to visit the property on March 12, 2019. During the excavation, authorities uncovered human remains, a pelvis and torso, carefully dismembered at the neck, shoulders, and hips, consistent with an attempt to hide the victim's identity. The discovery marked a crucial turning point in the case, finally providing physical evidence after decades of uncertainty. Unfortunately, traditional DNA testing hit a dead end. There were no matches in any national databases. For just about 2 years, the identity of the remains remained a mystery. But in February 2021, a breakthrough came thanks to forensic genealogy. Experts at Othram, a lab specializing in cold case DNA, built a family tree using forensic genealogy. Bit by bit, the branches pointed to living relatives of George Clarence Seitz. With this new lead, investigators were able to confirm what many had long feared. The remains buried in that Queens backyard belonged to George, the Army veteran who had vanished more than 40 years earlier. In November 2021, investigators arrested 74-year-old Martin Mota, the ex-barber who owned the shop where George vanished. Court records show that Mota lured George into the barbershop, where he stabbed him in the head and killed him. Investigators believe Mota targeted George because he was known to carry large amounts of cash. Mota later admitted to stealing between $7,000 and $8,000 before dismembering George's body and burying the remains beneath a concrete slab. In October 2022, Mota pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the brutal killing of George Seitz. Just weeks later, on November 7th, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Justice had finally been served for the Seitz family. George Seitz survived the horrors of war, only to be murdered by someone he trusted. For decades, he was just another name on a forgotten missing persons report. But a child's memory and cutting-edge DNA science ensured the truth didn't stay buried forever. One of the strangest aspects of this case is the delay, over 40 years before crucial information came to light. Why did it take so long for a key witness to come forward? The reasons for this delay remain unclear, as public records do not explain why the information was withheld for so long. That silence added a layer of mystery to an already chilling case. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're drawn to stories that linger long after they're forgotten, subscribe to The Fifth File for more deep dives into the cold, the missing, and the unexplained.